How we doing today, folks? Welcome to episode 14 of Just Conversations, No Interviews. Always remember to like,
subscribe,
and share. Fortunately, Mike is not with us today. It's our first time back. We missed about a week. We've got a lot of things going on.
We miss you, Mike.
Yeah, we miss you, Mike. So we're going to try to shoot this episode today without him. I mean, last time we tried to shoot one without our show, it's probably one of the worst episodes ever because we didn't have our vibrant spirit. So
I wouldn't say that. I laughed. I liked it.
Well, we just got criticized on that episode.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really want. We talk about that when Mike come back because I can't talk about it without him being here. Then I'm gonna look.
Yes. And we needed him for our shirts today too.
I don't know.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. But this summer we will be getting involved a lot more. Look forward to your comments being replied to this week. By the time you see this, you should be seeing that we are replying and interacting with you guys more. Sorry it took so long also, but we will be getting back to talking with you guys and interacting.
On our regular schedule.
Today, I think it's like May 17th. Is that right? May 16th. May 16th. Okay, yeah, today's May 16th. This Tuesday will be May 18th. Very important races coming up.
Very important day.
Yeah, we have already talked about it in length, but we just want to remind you something that's on the news this week, where registered Republicans switched back to the Democratic Party, about 6,000 people, just to make sure they can go vote for Carlos Vega this week.
Wait, let me process that.
Yeah.
Registered Republicans
switched
to Democrats.
So now they didn't say why.
Okay.
But it's the primary, it's the Democratic primary, to be able to vote. And
you said 4,000?
6,000.
And that's just in Philadelphia?
That's
or Pennsylvania?
Yes, and the people who switched were mainly from Northeast and South Philly.
Wow.
I'm not saying who they were, because I don't know who they were. I'm not even saying who they vote for, because I don't know who they vote for. But I know that DA race is very important, so I want people to know that if somebody's going out their way this much to put an attorney who has strange practices, and I'm not talking about the one that's in office, and I'm talking about the one they're trying to get in.
Yeah.
The guy who was fired for his, poor judgment, and people going out their way to put him in office, a certain group of people, a certain union, then I don't know why would I even want to be a part of something like that. So if you do not vote, that's like voting to let this certain
for him
union
to
win.
be.
Yes. So again, voting is very important. A lot of people say, well, the people elected or chosen and stuff like that. I'm not here to argue or debate that. I'm here to tell you that it's a very important race. This race for DA is very important. Again, as a person, they talk about the murder rate and everything. And I thought about it, I said, well, in 1995 we had a big murder rate, but I didn't see the police unions jumping up and down to get Len Abraham out of office as the DA that year.
Okay.
But somehow everybody's jumping up to get Larry Krasner out of office. But when I see what Larry Krasner has done, as far as holding police accountable, I can see why the police will put up the money to get him out.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, to me, that's borderline, like, I don't know, not illegal, but it's just something that doesn't seem morally correct. You don't like the teacher who holds you accountable, so you automatically transfer to another class.
Exactly.
So shame on you, some of you. Shame on you, police union. But and another thing, I'm not saying that all police are bad. I'm not saying we shouldn't have police. Don't even try to run with that narrative. What I'm saying is that dirty cops are just like criminals. They need to be exposed and they need to be dealt with as far as the law.
Absolutely. On a positive note, I think this week I'm going to dedicate to being more positive. Just having a positive outlook, a positive mindset. So I am grateful and thankful for those 6,000 people that are just in tune with what's going on in our community. You know what I mean? Again, it's one thing to have a voice, but we have to come out in numbers. So the fact that, more people are taking interest into what's going on, and, I'm assuming that if they change their party, then they're definitely going to go out and vote. You know what I mean? And keep that in mind too. You want to make sure that prior to elections that you are registered to vote. You could be a Republican, Democrat, or nonpartisan. Nonpartisan allows you to only vote for the primary. However, if you decide to be a Republican or a Democrat, you definitely can vote on every single election. So just make sure that you are active, that you are in our community and having a voice. That's definitely important.
Yes. So again, May 18th, please go out and vote, let your voice be heard, and you know, we have to maintain a certain type of structure and respectability and accountability in this city. Got a lot of interesting things. I've seen this week that Colin Kaepernick had wanted. He came out with a book or something. It's like defund the police and probably defund jails. I want to say defund police and defund jails. I think it's pretty a far stretch.
Defund the police.
Yeah, defund the police and defund jails. So I wouldn't advocate for police to be defunded. I don't think that makes sense because in these neighborhoods you still have the aggressor, you have the victim, and somebody has to keep the aggressor at bay. You know, now I'm not saying that aggressor is supposed to come around and bend the rules of law to keep the aggressor at bay, but it has to be some type of structure. So I don't agree with that stance. I think it should be more of like we have to not even retrain, but I don't know, we have to change how some of these police are policing. You know.
Absolutely.
You know, we have the instance, we didn't get a chance to talk about the instance where the cop came up and he shot the young lady and it went all over the place.
Where was this?
It's in Ohio. This happened like 2 weeks ago, right after our last time we shot.
Okay.
A young girl was fighting. She called the police.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
She called the police when they came up. The girl actually called the police, had the knife.
Yeah.
And she was attacking her attackers. And the police officer rolled up. He didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? And he made the best judgment call that he felt was good for him at the time. There was a white officer who came up with the gun, and the girl was black. She was shot. She was killed. But the thing was,
and she was what, 17?
She was 16. But it's nothing on your forehead that says I'm a 16-year-old.
And she didn't look. Let's keep it 100. She did not look like a teenager at all.
And to me, she was going to town. Looked like she was trying to take
someone else's life.
Yeah. So if I came up on the scene like that, when people say you should just shoot her in the leg and shoot, like, police are not trained to shoot you to hurt you.
Yeah.
They're trained to shoot to kill. So for me to say something about what I would do in somebody else, this is irresponsible. I can't. If I come up and I see you about to take somebody's life, am I supposed to say, hey, what are y'all doing? Or am I supposed to stop you from taking that person?
But now let's really backtrack, right? So we talk a lot about the guns and we talk a lot about what's going on in our community. Now, one of the things that we mentioned was the fact that they had this app that they was creating to track certain things. And we definitely know from Apple, you know, you looking at Polo shirts. Polo won't be sending you emails for weeks on weeks. You're like, wait, what's going on, right? So my point is, when you talk about the different things that's going on in our community, and I'm just, in my mind, I'm just replaying, how do we get to the root, right? We talk about the guns and the police and all these different things, but what about the two females? Let's go back to the dynamic of the reason they were out there fighting, right? Which led to this tragic event. So we had two young ladies arguing over whatever the case may be. Now, what I do know is that I don't know what they were arguing over. I don't know when, where, or how. But I do know that when you are arguing over social media, multiple people can now see what's going on. Who's going to be the people that's going to get involved and be the village within our community to stop the shenanigans with black on black hate and crime? When are we going to start loving each other and being a community again in the regard that we are helping one another build? That we are growing together collectively as opposed to tearing each other down? And what is the reason? What is the purpose? You know, I'm so tired of talking about guns and being afraid. I want to know, what is the true problem? You know, why do we not love each other enough or love our own selves enough as though we're willing to extend that love to our neighbor?
You gotta love yourself before you can love somebody.
That's what I'm saying. So what is blocking the love within that you don't like? All I want to do is give the love that I had to other people, because I see how it makes them feel. I see how infectious love can be. You understand what I'm saying? So when we have these fights in our community, when we have these instances in our community, who is getting involved to say, not on my block, not on my watch? Where's the block captains at that we used to have?
Well, again, I mean, I don't know this neighborhood. This neighborhood's in Ohio, right?
Are we talking about every neighborhood?
Yeah, but we're talking about the one instance.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, listen. I mean, you got any fights in Philadelphia you want to talk about this week?
No, but I'm just saying.
This is what I'm saying. So, you know, like I know, most areas are not how they used to be. Sometimes, in some areas, families stay for 20 years, 30 years.
So, do we shut the internet down? Do we take the kids' phones away? Do we shut down Instagram? I'm not saying these things wasn't prevalent prior to Instagram and Facebook and all these things, but if it's now a platform where people can now view what you're doing, hear what you're doing, or follow the words, and nobody's intervening, and then we have, these things happening at a magnitude of, to the point where everybody's scared, to the point where you can't go on 22nd Street and buy a piece of cake. I can't get no cookies from the nieces because, now we got a real problem.
I mean, to me.
Or was these problems already here? And I'm just.
Pretty much. I mean, I think they always been here. I think they highlight. I think they have more gasoline to the fire. But if that's the case, then I guess the telephone should never been out. Because, it used to be at one point like, what's your address? And I come to your address and holler at you. It's always going to be problems with anything you have. There's always going to be problems, right? I mean, I wish I could wave a wand and make all the parents teach their kids how to be good, productive people, but that won't happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, for everything good is bad. Like, so the internet helps you advance your business, advance your message. It helps you.
Should be an age requirement, maybe.
It won't work. It won't work. It's the youth is what pushes all
the business. You're right.
Yeah,
okay.
the youth pushes it. The youth pushes it. So there's no way possible that won't work. The problem is where they want the problem to be. You know what I mean? It only matters when little Susie and Johnny, something happened to one of them, and then everybody's hearts broken and everybody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Little Tay Tay and Fatima fighting in the middle of the street. Somebody gets shot by a cop. Oh well, you want to make an arm to break eggs. That's how they look at us. So until you have, it's an individual thing where a person will be like, I ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it. Or you train your child and hope that your child takes the training and doesn't get involved in that. But I mean, like, you can't stop the internet here.
Like, I'm really to the point where I was getting ready to send my child to Georgia for the summer. Mm-hmm. Just because I don't want her on these streets at all. Like, at all. So let me tell you what happened last week. I'm driving, taking my daughter to lacrosse practice, right? Now, maybe it's magnified for me. I have a 12-year-old. Majority of the students that I teach are 10, 11, 12 years old. So on my way driving, she calls her grandmother, and her grandmom is basically telling us that she has to run out because her girlfriend's granddaughter, 12 years old, hung herself.
Oh, shit.
Hung herself. Do you understand me? When I got around there, I'm not even the type, I don't go to funerals. I'm not, I don't do the balloons or whatever that. I never really done any of that, but it touched me so I couldn't even understand. If you want to kill yourself, take some pills, do it fast. But to do it in a dynamic where, people who hate us, kill us, you know what I mean? Like, that's their, I couldn't really process it. It's still taking me a while. And when I was out there, I saw teenagers with bulletproof vests on. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this just cannot be. We hear about it all the time on the news, but I've never seen our city in such a state that people just have no care and concern or regard for anything or anybody.
You said she was 12 years old.
Well, that's my daughter's age.
So, I mean, we had the episode we talked about music and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's 12 years old. Connection in my mind, it may not be correct, but in my mind, the first time I think about 3 years ago was the #1 song on the radio for everybody in Philadelphia. Push Me to the Ledge. All My Friends Is Dead. Lil Uzi and them with that.
What?
Yeah, that song.
See, I know I ain't with it. Push Me to the Dead.
No, Push Me to the Ledge. All My Friends Are Dead. Some shit like that. How it went, Pimp? You know how that shit went.
He was talking about money.
Yeah, but the one he was talking about, no, Uzi had a strong.
Push Me to the Edge. All My Friends Is Dead.
Yeah, he had a strong, like, suicidal version of his music. You know what I'm saying? So if that kid is 9 years old again back then, they listen to that. And the suicide thing is really played upon a lot in a lot of this music.
I'm hearing it. Like, you hear little kids talking, how do you even know what that is? Her little sister filmed her, like, my sister how do you know what that is?
That's
crazy. It's like you said, it's I don't even understand why that would be in a song. Songs are supposed to uplift you, make you dance, feel good. Why is that?
That's for your generation.
I know.
That's what it's different, man. Like, sometimes like they say, man, when I was young people didn't even think about no shit like that. And if it happened, it was so far and few in between. I mean, how many, like, even a young man being a homosexual, if it was 100 of us, maybe one, maybe two, that were actually
That you know
that
about
was
it.
that were very like, hey, this is me. Like to a point now, it's 50 young. If it's 100 men standing outside, it's a good chance 50 of them will be, hey, this is who I
And
am.
then 20 of them is lying just to fit in.
Yeah.
You know?
So what I'm saying is that like our culture has picked up different things that we didn't do.
Yeah.
Suicide was not a thing in the community. Well, people were probably even more poor in the 80s than they are now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you so depressed about or upset about?
Because
or
everybody
mad
thinks
about?
they're supposed to have this $1 million life without putting $1 million work effort.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, people have those feelings of depression or feelings of defeat or feelings of being unaccomplished because whatever they're searching for it outward instead of inward.
Yeah.
And it's going to like, listen, that's right now everybody riding on the high. You see the 12-year-old take this up. Let's just say in 2 years, this whole economy, because just say the whole economy crash. So all the motherfuckers on Instagram every day showing their great lifestyle and how many, you know, pairs of exotic sneakers and exotic cars and exotic trips they take. What happened when all those people come back down to reality? Can anybody focus on being a regular Joe again?
Yeah.
Can you go from being up here?
I think it's hard.
I'm quite sure it is.
That's why I'm scared for like people that hype themselves up on, you know, social media. But you know the real person.
Yes.
But I feel like they're trapped. It's like once you start showing, you can't stop. You know, it's like your next picture has to be better than the last, or you fell off. You know.
But I'm telling you that day is around the corner.
Yeah.
I swear to you, it's around. If you watch the economy was going to just look at it like this. Housing is going to right now, right? So plywood and all that shit done with it. Boom, plywood went high.
$6 for a thing I just filmed out.
Yeah.
I was doing my first construction house last week.
So look, plywood just shot through the roof, right? Housing shoot through the roof. Money getting cheaper, everything else getting more expensive. All right. Now oil just shot up because somebody hacked it. Allegedly somebody hacked it, right? So if you're looking at all this shit, the prices for everything going up. So if you had money last year, you were selling 100,000. You're like, yeah, I'm getting money. I did whatever I get.
Yes.
Scam,
I'm
you
listening. Yes.
Now the flip side is that now that 100,000 just dropped to 80.
Yes.
Now it just dropped to 80. And if you're in the middle of a project and you're doing it, somebody saying like, yeah, you're gonna fix this house up. This house you bought it for 100. They're telling you only gotta put 200 and you're gonna sell it for and make 350. So now you so busy thinking like, I don't make a $50,000 profit when it's not the case.
Yeah.
Because by the time you're ready to sell
putting
it,
in more.
by the time you're ready to sell it, you'd probably be happy to walk away with 10,000, or you'd be happy to get out that day with your shirt on. Get out there with your shirt on. And that's where we at right now. And it's going to be an interesting day. I mean, even now I was I was talking to people about cryptocurrency, and I was sitting at work last week. Me and this white boy, we had totally different upbringings, but we was talking about crypto every day. So I was telling him like my strategy, telling me his strategy. So while we sitting there, he bought this coin called Shiba. He bought a Shiba coin. He spent $3,000 on it. He spent $3,000 on the Shiba coin. Hey, get that door? He spent $3,000 on the Shiba coin.
Oh, pause. Let me real quick.
So he spends $3,000 on the Shiba coin. So he's showing me. I'm like, damn, that's what's up. That bought him like 1 million shares, or maybe 2 million shares. I can't remember.
Okay.
While we talking in work, he was like, yo, look at this shit. So while he bought it, the 3,000 investment turned to 7,000. So he was like, yo, I'm gonna hold it up to 10. I was like, yo, don't hold it to 10. I said, yo, grab your profits and just be happy with the profit. Say, I ain't doing that shit. So he got up to 9,000. He wanted to get to 10.
Lost it all.
No. It dropped back down to like, it got the 9, it dropped back down to 8. So he was like, yo, you know what? I took Sharif's advice.
Yeah.
So he sold it.
Yeah.
He sold the profit, took the $5,000 profit, kept the initial 3,000 in. And before you know it, it dropped all the way back down to like 1,000, then it shot back up, and I haven't seen where it's been at. But that Shiba coin was going crazy, and then the cryptocurrency last week when Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live, everybody thought that Dogecoin was through the roof. Dogecoin took a shit, so it got 75 cents. But if you bought 1 million shares of it at 75 cents, it's like $7,000, I can't remember. So if you bought it and went to the movie, you got the paper, but you had to take out your profits.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't. They got smacked in the face. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, like we are really in this time of just like, hey, I got money, and everybody's rushing, trying to make this money, stay on this money horse. But if you're not careful, you will really get your ass bust right now.
Yeah.
Like before you know it, like so one day you will wake up one day and you could have go to sleep a millionaire and wake up broke as shit.
And even on a smaller scale, because as I'm listening to you, for example, if you use your PPP money, or even people that have businesses are going to jail because they didn't use that money in the right way.
Yeah.
But let's just say if you got PPP, or even if you just but even if you just accepted your money that the state gave you, like the IRS, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you bought a new car, or even a regular car, but never had a car before then. Now you're paying gas. Gas has now gone up. You understand what I'm saying? So all these different things, whether it be somebody who has a little bit of money or a lot of money, the income or the expenses that we're going to encourage here are going to be very different.
Yeah, and that's just.
And so all these people that's thinking they getting it and balling, yeah, it's going, oh Lord, this year is going to be something else.
Yeah, I think the nightmare of, it's one thing to never have had it, so you never know what it feel like.
Yeah.
But then when you had it and you lost it, yeah. and if you definitely don't know how you got it, so if you know how you got it, when you take the L, because we all take L's.
Yeah.
When you take the L, it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna take this hit upside the head, but eventually I'll get back. I know how to get back because I didn't take the shortcuts.
Yeah.
For the people who took all the shortcuts, they're gonna feel it. I
Listen.
feel sorry for y'all guys too, because y'all gonna feel it. Y'all ladies and gentlemen, y'all gonna feel it. And for those of you that have that persevering spirit, you will bounce back without a problem. But for those of you that's out here flogging and faking, may God bless you. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try to hurt nobody. It's just you played the game and your dice got called. It's just how it goes sometimes.
And that y'all know that list is out, so there's no way at this hour to get the money back. Sorry, but again, I hope it was worth it. You don't want to play with the government funds and not allocate those monies in the right way. It will come back on you. Okay? We got something from Master Uptown.
Master Uptown. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Everybody with their little lingo. Sorry. That's real talk, Reef. Okay, Reef. My pop raised me as well. Time and rules were different, and I appreciate everything I went through. It was definitely a bless. Ford tough. Ford like a car?
Man, because that's how I know you don't watch the show. I said it in the show. I said it in the show that my pop raised me Ford tough.
It's so many things that go on within a week, sir.
Yo, I know you don't watch it. That was all the episode when you.
I do watch them, and I now watch them on my flat screen television.
Damn, do it. Hey, yeah, and for people who are not watching on TV, some of our older people, we're gonna show you probably on another episode where we're gonna be in front of the TV and show you how you can watch the YouTube on your TV, so you can watch it as like a real live talk show.
I was so amazed. I don't even know what I was thinking. Kept looking at it on my little box of a phone, and it really looks good on a television.
Yeah, because we do shoot at 4K. For people who don't know, this is a 4K shot show. Is that right? Is that correct? Is this 4K?
Yeah, it's up there.
Is this 4K? Yeah, definitely 4K. Yeah. Also, another one we got.
We appreciate that. Thank you for the comment. Oftentimes men don't really, share their feelings, so we greatly appreciate that, sir. From Uptown.
We got another person said lessons because they like what we were talking about in that last show, and then we got Master making a couple more comments. Of course, you're right, Rishi. I'm always right as long as you know. You see, males and females are built different.
Yes.
Man, so that's when we was talking about can you control your feelings and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
When you and Mike tried to tell me I was a non-feeling, holding feelings in all day type person. I don't know where you get this stuff from. Because you what? Let me hear this.
He's keeping his feelings in. I'm sure your brother know. You try to act like you can control your feelings as if you are the driver. That's not possible.
I'm not the driver. I'm on the ride for the road.
Exactly. So just fall back and relax.
So what part is that? That's not controlling your feelings.
No, but I must admit, I think I was probably talking about maybe the last year's week.
Oh, last year's week?
After you said you thought about it and you've been trying to reflect and be better. It makes sense. Yeah, no, I think
last year. That's like
in the last few years.
Last few years.
Yeah.
It's the seasons of Reef.
The
season.
What does that mean?
Yes.
It depends on is he working? Is he not working? So
Yeah.
you might get supervisor Reef.
Yeah.
You might get regular Reef.
Got you.
So what's regular?
So yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah, what's regular reef?
Regular Reef is chill. He cool. He like, Reef, I just blew it all. And he be like, it's cool. You blew it all. You was doomed to fail from the jump, but you did good. Don't worry about it. Small thing to a giant. We got it. Right? That's cool, Reef.
Yeah.
Now, supervisor Reef, I lost it all.
Looks all the way different.
He breathed for like 5 minutes. and then he be like, you gotta be effing kidding me, yo. You gotta be playing with me. You can't be this stupid. You can't be this stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when you, so it's like, you gotta kind of fetch it. You gotta look at everything going on.
Yeah.
Now, if Reef ain't working, but he under pressure from the real estates and whatnot, that's a little different. That's a little give and take. That's like that's a little give and take. Depends on what side.
You'll get half and half.
Yeah. See, as long as you ain't the one, you ain't on the side who making the mistakes.
Yeah.
You are. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That sound about right.
So if you're making the mistakes, it's about your ass. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Not just the one mistake. Let's just say if you're making 80 fucking of the same mistakes.
Depends on the season.
Depends on the season.
Depends on the season.
So even the first mistake.
If I can see you making a mistake, but if you think it's a dumb mistake,
There you go. There you go.
I don't even, you know, people make me such a horrible person. Hey, yo, I have never.
I think it's great. You are confident. You're in tune with yourself. You know what you like and what you don't like. It's more so other people not on the bandwagon. More so people not being confident in who they are. They second guessing themselves, and you are very sure. You know what I mean? And with that, it's intimidating.
I'm even sure what I'm wrong.
Exactly, because you always think you're right. So you know what I'm saying?
Listen, man.
It's a great quality.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I'm trying to repaint the narrative, but up to a certain extent. Like, the thing about it is that I don't like. It's hard for me to keep explaining myself over and over again to somebody. So if I say, hey, this is the play, run the play.
Yeah.
Now, if we run the play and the play fucked up, then yeah, you have every right to come back and say, hey, yo, look, that shit ain't work, da da da. But if you never ran the play, and you didn't even tell me you wasn't gonna run the play, and I'm sitting all the way up here, I'm waiting like.
And then you talking shit with it.
Yeah, no, because I'm looking, I'm like, yo, well, why you ain't do the shit yet? And you tell me like, oh yeah, about that. This a week later, but I'm about to tell you I wasn't feeling that play. So I'm like, hold the fuck up. See, because every play run like this with me. Mm-hmm. So some plays may be 20 and 30, like, all right, just like for this podcast, everybody like, where the merch, right? You take
What's the merch?
Merch is like the sweatshirts.
Oh, okay, yeah. Exactly. Listen, ladies,
okay.
fellas, stay tuned. You know what I mean? We will just keep looking good in front of the TV screen for you. We gonna make sure we bring this stuff to you very, very soon.
But what I'm telling you is that everything, you can't always rush everything. Once you get something started and start running, you don't want to have to get the pipeline and realize, oh shit, I gotta go back. So, boom, here we go. Look, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath before you cut me off. There you go. So listen, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right?
Yes.
This is a book, right?
Yes.
He talk about this story. They say, hey man, we got this water. We're trying to get the water from one side of the line to another side of it, from one side of the city to the next side of the city, right?
Okay.
And he said, how you gonna do this? Two people. One guy saw the opportunity and he started filling up buckets of water and just running from point A to point B.
Okay.
Another guy stepped back and figured out how to make a filtration system where he can get the water from point A to point B without doing all that running. See, so like even with like this merch, I already did to take the buckets and run back and forth already.
Gotcha.
I did that shit. You know, I was been in this business for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So I did that shit and I'm like, I don't want to do it that way this time. Yeah. I'd rather do it to the point where it's set up right. And so then once the merch start running, you know, once the merch start moving, whether it's moving fast or slow, it don't matter. It's already moving. We have a system set up.
Yeah.
See, I don't like, as you get older, you figure out things like, okay, everything can't be impulse. Strategy is everything. Yeah. So like even like this podcast, like where some people just start out the podcast, they gotta go get cameras, they gotta get mics, lights, and all that shit. We already had this stuff for over like 5 years. You know what I mean? Because we had another company that we were doing this type of stuff with. Okay. So it doesn't like it's easier to run. So we don't have that big startup cost. Most podcasts come out, they got big ass startup costs. So they, you know, at least $10,000-$20,000. That's what it takes when you start getting your cameras, your lights, your background, your light, the space to do it. You know, just even small things, amenities, you know? Yeah. So with me, I really just have the system made before we start running crazy with buckets of water.
I understand.
You sure?
That's why I jumped on board. Now I'm going to probably talk my shit, but that don't mean that I'm going to jump on board with people that I'm not supporting what I don't believe in. 100%. And I mean 100%.
You definitely gonna talk that shit. You was a shit talker.
Yes. But I definitely see where you're going. And, in my head, I'm gonna be the next Wendy Williams. But I know I didn't have no light, no camera. You know what I'm saying? So, everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to. And, kind of like even what we were talking about earlier, today's, the pastor was basically talking about, just feeling what you feel on the inside, but making sure that it radiates. For example, if you believe in whatever you believe in, it shouldn't be, I have to ask you, who you believe in. It should be so evident in your mannerisms and who you are in regard to who you praise. You know what I'm saying? So, again, just kind of like looking at everything that you do, but not just speaking on it, but also trying to be that better person or that leader or that representative to kind of, direct you in that path, if that makes sense.
No, I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, instead of me trying to complain this week or look at the negative side of the problems, I'm just kind of want to stay focused and just try to focus on being positive and the greater that could come out of it, or, Let me see how that worked for me.
Hey, listen, man, we all work in progress, man. Every day is a new one.
Yeah.
Every day. It's funny, earlier when we first was talking, we both was talking about like our jobs and like how we like both know that we can advance higher, but it's like, shit, do I want the money or do I want the freedom? And it's funny, like every day you wake up, you gotta think about like, damn man, that extra, that extra dunk would look crazy in my account.
Yeah.
But like,
Give me the freedom.
give you the freedom?
Give me the freedom.
Of course you would say
Because
that.
guess what? Align to with your like who you praise, you don't have to ask for it.
Yeah.
Anything that you need, gonna provide it. You know what I mean? Whether it be material possessions, whatever it is, peace, harmony, whatever it's gonna be, he sees already. So he's gonna provide you with what you need. But you have to be true in your worship. You have to be true in your beliefs. You know what I mean? You can't be backpedaling. You can't, on Saturday, I believe in God, but then on Sunday, you're not at church and you doing something that goes totally against the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta not just talk it, but you have to walk it. That's the difference. God, and not just God, whoever that you worship, they know what's going on. They see it before you speak it.
It's interesting. It's funny how I even had a conversation with somebody this week and he said, man, you really gotta be careful what you pray for. He said, because sometimes you get what you ask for, but you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what outcome you're getting at. Mm-hmm. So let's just say you say, hey, God, I want $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just disclaimer. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. So you you pray and you say, I just want $1 million.
Yeah.
And you get the $1 million, but before you know, you spent the $1. So now you're back to being 100,000. But then after that, now here come the problems of having $1 million. Mm-hmm. Depending on how you got the $1 million. Let's just say, let's say you won a lottery. Mm-hmm. All right, well, first thing you got to do is pay taxes on it. You know what I mean? That's like 40% of your money right there. You know what I mean? So now you're 600,000 there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now the 600,000, maybe people know you got that money now. You might, you'll buy a couple of luxury items and stuff like that. And before you knew it, $1 million is gone and you back in the same spot that you was. Mm-hmm. So, then you go pray and say, I need another one. God, like, hold on, I just gave you that one. Exactly. I can't keep giving you these chances. Exactly. So like you just, the things you really want, you should really like study and see if that's what you really want. Mm-hmm. So if you ask yourself about like, I want this money. If I get this certain thing, my life will be great. And there's never really been that equation really never equals up. Because we all have got that one thing that we thought, once I get this, I'm set for life. Mm-hmm. And you get that set for life number, and it don't really work that way.
But you know why?
Why is that?
It's because you gotta understand. Do you want it because you lust after her, or do you want it for a purpose?
You gotta have the right energy.
So if you're lusting after it, you gotta understand that lust is not always sexual. It could be finances. Mm-hmm. It could be whatever you lust after. It could even be food. Yeah. But the thing about lust is that you're never full.
Yeah.
So think about it. When you lusted after women, you finally took down the joint that you wanted for all this time. Where's the next one?
Exactly.
Then you go get that
one.
What's the next one?
Exactly.
Then after that, then you hit then you like, oh, I did all that. That's just the normal. Now I'm gonna start popping chicks here. I'm gonna start popping do this. Then when you done that, what's left? Oh, I just want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Now you're getting the more fornication. You're getting the more crazy things because you're not fulfilled by what you attain. But that's just for the sex side. Now let's just say money. You lust after money. So let's just say if you like, if I get 100,000, boy, go on. You get that 100,000.
Now I need 200,000.
I need a million. You know what I'm saying? And now, because you done tasted it.
Exactly.
And now you like, I can get this again.
Yes.
And then you going to go after it. Now you hit your million. That's like what they say, like back in the 90s, you know, the common rap bar was like, when I get the one brick, I leave. You know what I'm saying? That was a common rap lyric.
Yeah.
When I get the one brick to the game, I will depart with. When you get to one brick, what they do? They don't stop.
Exactly.
Because it's the lust.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And the
Yep.
thing is that people usually, whenever you say lust, they always associate it with raunchy sex. But lust goes across the board.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Whatever that you chasing after, if you get it and you don't feel fulfilled by it. But now let's say if you like, if I get 100,000, I'm gonna do boom, 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 boom. And then you get the 100,000 and you do boom, 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 boom. Now to the next level, what you want to do now? Now it's like, all right, so what's the move?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like this: all these emotions or feelings are basically the same feeling. So let's say competition. On the good side, you'll call it competition. On the bad side, you'll call it jealousy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So
You
it's
gotta
like
come with this,
all,
the right
all
energy.
all these feelings or emotions are pretty much one and the same. It just depends on which side of the board you are on. So if you lust after something, there's nothing wrong with wanting more than what you was born with.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. The thing is though, when you get it, are you fulfilled when you have it? Or if not, and you feel like you in this rat race.
And are you getting it for
just
you?
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember a time where, you know, I thought you couldn't tell me shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. In my head, I had bought a Porsche, right? So I got this Porsche and I got it off of like Copart or whatever. Dun, dun, dun. You don't know what Copart is?
Oh, I know what Copart is.
So Copart is like a website where you can buy, damaged cars.
Got you.
Yeah,
The
Salvage title cars,
Okay.
right? Now, my previous car was a salvage title, no problem, but it was a Cadillac.
Okay.
You can't do that with a foreign car. But the problem was this: my energy was off. I was in my, and I'm gonna be honest. I was like, oh, I'm about to be flogging on these niggas. But it was only one person in particular. So I was only talking about one person.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to shit on Eric. I was trying to shit on one person. So with that being said, the energy was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I got the car. I still got it. I ain't never drove it. You know what I'm saying?
You never drove it?
No, because it ain't even put back
can't
together
drive.
yet.
It's in
You know what I'm saying? It's in pieces. You know? So it's like, yeah, you can want these things, and I realized later on, like, I did that to myself. You know, it's like I wasted all this money because my energy, I didn't want this for the right thing. I didn't want this car for me. I was being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by being transparent with, you know, your heart and your soul. It has to all align.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't say, I want to do this, but you're not working. Just what you say earlier, you can't have a, you said like people want all this, but they don't want to put the work
Oh
in.
yeah, $1 million appetite with like a $10 work ethic.
Yeah, you know,
And if you want the stuff, then you have to have the work ethic that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you can luck up and get it. Cause
You don't get
some
lucky,
people
but
don't
how
get-
are you gonna keep it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
appreciate it? Are you gonna
maintain
value it? You know?
Yeah, people get lucky every day. I see people buy stuff a lot and have no idea how to maintain it. And when they get it, the first thing they like to tell people like, "Yeah, I'm shitting on you right now. I'm shitting on you. It's my turn now. It's my turn." And when I see somebody accomplish something, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them. But in the back of my brain, I am thinking like, I hope they prepared for what they're getting themselves into.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have friends now who all starting to like hit that sweet spot in life where they're getting the very nice house, they're having the very nice cars. They, you know, for the ones that maintain their plan from the 18-year-old to now. I seen some of them go through the hardships. Now I see a lot of them hitting that sweet spot. I'm like, that's what's up. Like, you know what I mean? I wish everybody nothing but success. You know what I mean? It's but for the people who I see who cheated to get there, who didn't put in the proper work, I'm not hating on them. I just be looking at them like,
Ooh.
I hope your luck doesn't run out. I hope your luck doesn't run out.
Sometimes they got it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's you know, I mean, I don't. It's the game. Like I said, for me personally, because I got to be who I am. If you scam to get to the top list or get to a certain level, God bless you. That's what you do. I don't really blend good with those type of people because
it's gonna come crashing down.
Well,
God ain't blessing no mess.
If I had to get battle scars to get there, and you roll out the bed and got there, we don't have the same story.
Correct.
So where would we even have compatible feelings? Yeah, because if you roll out the bed and you got it, and I had to go through shit to get it, you may got $1 million, I only got 100,000. But my 100,000, I had to work my ass off to get it. Your $1 million, you just and it fell. So we're gonna have different conversations.
Right, but
You know
is
what I mean?
is that not a conversation for innovation?
I think so
I think it's
because
a conversation
when you
for
said
everybody.
that, I was getting ready to say. So when we talk about that's kind of like more so generational wealth, right?
Mhm.
The goal, if I'm listening to you properly, we pretty much want to design our children's children, and all that to be set up, right? Now the flip side is like you just said, will they appreciate and value it if they didn't work for it?
Right.
That's kind of what your brother was saying. Will they value and appreciate it and do right by
But
it
see,
because
I
they
believe-
didn't earn it?
I believe that comes from training though. See, a child of that type of family, when from little, they know they inherited some shit.
Yeah.
And they are trained from little how to deal in daddy's affairs or deal in the company, deal with the business. Even black people, we do that, who people have established business. You start your kid at cleaning the floors.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to say, why would you do that to your son? So he knows what each position is like when he takes this over. You see what I'm saying? That way he can truly be a real leader. As opposed to, my son, he just graduated college. Get on in there, boy.
Yeah.
He ain't got it. But he got the pressure though. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
think about
that pressure.
right. So think about that. Like I can't go on like that.
I can't
shit.
let
You know what I'm saying?
nobody
But then you got this other kid on the come up. Like what you complaining about? You already got money, bro. Do you know what it's like if I'm the one to lose all the money?
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
We definitely started you sweeping the floors.
Oh yeah, you definitely did.
We definitely started you sweeping the floors.
And that's why, literally, that's why. I'm not saying he's smarter than you, but that's why.
He is smarter than me.
That's why he has so much from all of you. You know what I mean? Like literally, I was telling Mama Karima about. I was like, did you ever get to teach him? Because she would be amazed by him. It's like your cup is overfloweth, is what I would say.
I told my brothers and sisters drink from it.
No, you're drinking from them. You have drunk up so much from them that you are overflowing.
We got receipts that
You understand what I'm saying?
us.
Like you have really learned from your brother, your older brother. It was almost like he was a silent genius.
He is a silent
That's
genius.
exactly. And I'm going off of 20 plus years
And
ago.
they
You
ain't talking
understand
about
what
me.
I'm saying?
They ain't talking about me. Let y'all
So
know.
you have gotten all of that. Your mom, your dad, like just their aura, their mannerisms, their you owe them a lot.
Oh, listen,
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a heartbeat. I am the walking unfair exchange.
Walking.
You ever heard of unfair exchange?
The nigga's
I know what it
a horrible investment. That's what he is.
I am.
That's the part you're gonna say.
But no. What I'm saying, but unfair exchange is
You're gonna make some mistakes, but guess what?
But it's just like you learn from other people's mistakes. So it's
Exactly.
like from your pain, I gain.
Yes,
So I seen him
That's
blow
right.
20. Listen, I seen this man blow 20 bands on a fucking wall.
Mm-hmm.
I said, damn. I don't know if I could blow 20 bands on the wall, but if I had to, I know. Well, how can we not get to that? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm so. You remind me of like one of the students in my class, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see where he turned out to be. Honestly.
So something they said earlier when they said, you said intervention. You said I don't know what the hell he was saying, but something made me think about like. So I was saying like when I see people get to come up with the money and everything, right? So I remember.
You mean your bag?
No. Like innovation. So
Yeah.
I remember like in the mid 2000s, I would see the young hot niggas from our area who come up with the money. So when you're a young hot nigga, you see them, they start coming out with the 10,000 in their pocket. They got the nice wheel. They shine. They buying the rounds and all that shit. And I used to see them. They would come down to my bar and I would see them. They would show me like, yeah, Reef, I'm getting money now. I'm getting money better than you. All that good shit. And I used to, when people first used to say to me, I would take it to offense, and I'd be like, "Hey, fuck!" I started running down my resume, but it doesn't matter. So then what I started doing like in 05 is I would tell the young players, well, 08, I'll tell young players like, listen, man, everybody gonna get money. I would wish and hope that you buy something because before you know it, this thing of yours gonna come crashing down. I think you should have something so that when whatever happens to you, when this is all said and done, you'll have something to fall back on. And I told it to probably about 10 people. Maybe 2 listened. But the ones who didn't listen at the time, man, you had to see the disdain on their face when I tell them everything, be like, hating ass niggas. Like, and I'm like, damn, dog, I ain't hating. I'm just telling you, hey, look, this movie has the same ending.
Yeah.
So I think you might want to try something different. And I would always tell them, real estate or stocks or whatever. And it's funny, babe, because when I see those same guys now, they be like, damn, man, I wish I would have listened to you, man.
Yeah.
I wish I would have listened to you. And I just be like, look, I wasn't saying to put it in their face. I was just telling them, like, hey, we all take a certain journey. And it's unfortunately, if you don't get off the road, when you hit that wall, it's going to hurt. Because we all going to hit some type of wall. Nobody makes it out untouched.
Yeah.
But you might want to hit the wall. Yeah, unscathed. You might want to hit the wall doing 30 miles per hour than 80. You know what I mean? So,
For sure.
So I know that a lot of times I've tried to, tell people like, hey, slow down. Hey, you might, now when I see the young guys now, it don't really be about money now. It'd be more like violence and catch a breath. And I'd be like, man, whoa, y'all putting the cart before the horse. Like that's not even, the two don't even correlate. So the intervention part, when you try to tell somebody something, they'll look at it as it's like jealousy, like this hating ass old nigga trying to tell me, you don't know how this thing go, you ain't out here, you get all that shit, and I just be like, all right, man, the story doesn't change. This story been going on since the, to my knowledge, the 60s and 70s, and probably way before then. But I'm just saying for the people I've got a chance to learn from. It's the same circle.
Yeah. And even with that being said, I really gotta start writing things down because I'm just thinking about. I don't really do social media too much, but one thing that I took away from last week's social media, my little being newsy, perusing the gram. Milano, she bought her 1-year-old baby a house, right? So as I'm looking at her belly and things like that, and the whole conversation, everything that we talk about, what she did though was she bought a house on her old block. So now in my mind, all the neighborhoods right now that
gentrified.
Thank you.
So by the time that kid,
You see, I didn't say one thing, and you already got my whole sentence. That's what. Yeah. Well, I don't know about him.
He taught me how to see.
When you get 40 plus,
No, but he taught me how to see it before the construction.
But you see what I'm saying? So now it's now, don't get me wrong. I'm thinking about that stuff now, but I'm like, damn. 1 year old, that's exactly when you start. But grab them little $10,000 cribs that's banged up. You understand what I'm saying? All that type of stuff, and just bring it up. Just you know what I mean? Keep adding on to what you got.
I mean, you gotta keep up with that. I mean, it ain't as simple as just acquiring a property and letting it sit.
Of course not. But see, the difference is this. I'm sure your brother know. Home ownership is a different ballgame.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you something. See, you really have to read. They can act like they're going to take your house. There's a lot of things they act like they can do. But there's a lot that they really cannot if you read. You understand what I'm saying? If you had, that's why they have everybody for everything. I don't do my own nails. I go to the nuttery.
Right.
You understand? They got somebody for everything that's out here. So if that means having an accountant or hair, but see, that's when we talk about being a community again. It's so much that we can do collectively, but people don't want to share the information.
But you know why?
Why? Because people be hating on one another because we can't. It's the same thing.
No,
Because
sometimes it's
we can't
embarrassing.
grow collectively.
No, sometimes it's embarrassing. You have a connect, and you start passing your connect to everybody. Like, yo, look, I got a hell of an accountant. They take care of the shit. And then on her shit, you take a motherfucker there, and then you put them on your account. Next, you know, now they arguing with your account. You're like, yo, what you doing? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it'd be hard to pass a connect. Even with the bank club. Like sometimes I might be the person in the bank, and I be like, yo. I'll call people like, yo, this person giving out money, like, yo, go there, you know what I mean? Put down your shit, this ain't no scam shit. No, this is what you do. You have a business, take the shit there, let them look at it. They should be open to helping you because what you told me is correct. This is where you go get the real money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you tell somebody and they go there and they start that stupid shit. Yeah, that stupid shit. Like they can't, and it's embarrassing to me because it's like, man, I just gave you the oop. You should
and then you must have oop for everybody.
So it's hard. Like my man always tell me, like, man,
The fly, you back with this? The
it's
fly,
a new,
right?
yeah, it's a new fly. It's a little baby fly. So it's kind of hard to pass. I be wanting to pass connect to everybody.
But you can't do that,
Yeah,
you know?
you can't pass connect to everybody.
Yeah, it's so crazy out here. I be trying to get these young girls the game. You know, they want to ask you every 5 minutes, how you this, how you that? Listen, I'm walking through each nook and cranny. You know what I mean? But then it's like, ain't nobody listening. Nobody want to put the work in, like you said.
Yeah,
Nothing ain't come easy, and I'm glad of that because it made me value and appreciate stuff 10 times more.
But you know what? It's because no one understands that the journey is the fun part.
Yeah, right.
Like
right.
on the road
They just want
to getting what you want is the
They
fun
want
part.
immediate results.
Yeah,
They just want results.
The fun part is the journey. Because once you, let's just say you're on the quest to get 100,000, all the shit you did, business, meetings, this, that, bullshit, fake,
Yes.
real, lost friends, gained friends, this, and then you finally got it. You like, I did all that for this,
Yeah.
and then,
Don't feel the same.
but I mean, now that you got it, it's like, yeah, cool. Then now 10 years later, oh man, I remember, man, shit, I had to do
There you go.
I
There you go.
had to do like this guy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm burned out. I'm be like Joe Buttons cussing out his friends.
But guess what? That might be true. But I feel like at 50, I'll be able to just sit back and chill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with all the hard work because I know I'm retiring at age 50. My plan is working out. Everything that I said is coming into fruition. You know what I'm saying?
You better be careful. Just cut. You got a long way to go. 50 is about
I got
10 years
8
away.
more years.
Oh yeah, 8 years away. Be careful.
I'm gonna be careful.
Be careful.
I'm gonna be walking to find none.
So, as always, folks, thanks for watching, and please continue to like
Subscribe
and share
and in that order.
in that order. And definitely, thanks again for watching Just Conversations.
No interviews.